Greetings, my name is Ayana Woods, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Malik Innes.
for another edition of Culture Caravan Youth and Spotlight Show.
This program will feature informative discussions, culture, and fashion presented by youth of the community.
Dr.Gerald Deas is a physician, community activist, writer, poet, and columnist. He has dedicated his life towards using his many gifts to educate, enlighten, and inspire people about the importance of maintaining good health and wellness. The Cultural Caravan Youth and Spotlight crew is proud to welcome this distinguished humanitarian to our program. Welcome, Dr. Deas.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful being here with you young people to question this old man now about medicine. But at the same time, it's so important that we look at our elders and see what makes them successful or what they did to become successful. And so hopefully this program will reach out to others as it's reached out to you, interviewing me today, to do what we have to do.
Dr. Deas, what inspired you to enter the field of medicine?
I don't think, we use the word inspiration, but I guess it has to do with more who influences you. For example, I had a Dr. Walter Slade, who was a neurologist, who I taught Sunday school with in church, Concord Baptist Church. And believe it or not, sitting there learning about the religion, he told me he would like me to follow him around on Sundays, even when he had to go to the hospital and things like that. And there was Dr. Walter Slade, a fine neurologist, taking me on. We're in the same Sunday school class now, and he took me on to make a difference. And so we all need mentors. We all need mentors. And we need mentors in doctors, nursing, and all the professions of medicine and things like that, starting early so you go on rounds with them and things like that. And so mentoring was the most important thing. So I tell everybody who has any profession, nursing or what have you, take on a young person, a one-on-one, and start them off right at your age now, like you want to be an obstetrician. Let an obstetrician take you on right now to the hospitals, to conferences and things like that, so you can really dig into it.
What was one of the obstacles that you had to overcome, if any, to enter your field?
Most of the biggest obstacles is having distractions. Today, young people have a lot of distractions. If you look at the hip-hop thing, all of these kind of things that are having an effect upon their brain as such, because whatever you absorb right now is developing your future thinking and things like this. And that's why, in fact, this hat I wear, if you look at the hat, and my name is Deas, what does the word say?
Ideas.
Ideas. You got to have a whole lot of ideas, you know what I mean? Because the left side of the brain, it says, I think logically. Therefore, the right side of the brain is, I am creative. So we have a hat, we have a brain that has a left side and a right side. The right side has to do with arts, music, and all of that. The left side of the brain, mathematics, physics, and things like that. So now, if you are getting a lot of information all on the right side of the brain, that it becomes bad because basically you're developing all the neurons on the right side to do things and leaving the left side. And to get into medical school or all these things, you need more of the sciences as well as the arts. I'm not putting down the arts, but we have to focus on that way. And not only that, but we have to, if you look at kids today and they're wearing a hat like this here, there's something wrong when you wear a hat that's sideways. You're not focusing. Now you reverse. You don't even know where you're going. And then when you wear it like this, you're totally right. The right is the left and the left is the right. So therefore, it's a problem. People are looking at you in school walking around with your hat like this. They say, well, he really don't care about learning. So what you want to do is wear your hat correctly on your head if you're going to wear a hat and have some ideas that are coming into that head. Focus, focus, focus. Homework, homework, homework. Study, study, study. But don't take away your pleasure. Play ball, do all the things you want to do, poetry, acting, laughing, having a good time, but save some time to keep that brain in line.
In regards to nutrition, what are some of the do's and don'ts to food consumption?
The do's and don'ts, we answered that partially, but I think that you want to take care of not only the brain, but you have to take care of the heart. You want to live a long time. People used to say 70 years old is a long time. Now they're talking about 90 years old as it's a thing. Now we're talking about that you could live 110 if you take care of yourself. 110 years old. But it's what you're taking into your body on a regular basis. Because if you take magnesium, just the element magnesium, the heart needs magnesium to pump. The heart pumps like this. If you don't have certain things, nutrients, the heart will pump like this here. They're very irregular, and this causes a lot of problems and so forth. That's because it lacks certain nutrients, even calcium. Or the average person needs, like a young person like yourself, you need calcium in your diet every day in the form of something, milk or the different kind of things that contain dairy products that might contain low-fat dairy that contains calcium. Because you're growing, your bones need calcium, they need magnesium. Your brain needs all of the omega-3 oils, which is found in fish instead of just hamburger, and all the things that are in these meats and things like this. Because you know, meats and all these kind of things that come to the market today have a lot of additives in it because they have to feed the cows a lot of additives for the cow to get big and fat, or the pigs to become big and fat. But those additives also affect you. In fact, they have found some, like in young women, develop breasts very early, mainly because they're taking in meats that have a lot of estrogen or female hormones in it, and they feed the cows that, or the chickens that. You take those hormones in, and all of a sudden you're developing breasts at the age of 12 or 10 instead of the regular time because they're coming into your body. So anything we put into our body will affect us.
Dr. Deas, you're not only known as a physician, but an excellent writer and poet. Would you kindly share one of your works with us?
Well, yes, you know, I go around to schools and to try to encourage the young people to be somebody. Because I tell them, first you got to walk like somebody. Then you got to talk like somebody. Then you got to act like somebody going somewhere. You got to smile like somebody, act like a child of somebody, and let everybody know that you care. And even a mouse became somebody. He has frightened everybody because he refused to think that he was small. He decided in his mind that he was one of a kind, and now that day he's been 10 feet tall. First you got to walk like somebody. Then you got to talk like somebody. Got to act like somebody going somewhere. Got to smile like somebody, act like a child of somebody, and let everybody know that you care. And even a roach became somebody. He's been sprayed by everybody because he refused to stay in the wall. He was tired of dirty places and undesirable spaces, and now he lives in the kitchen and the hall. So these are the kind of things I try to get the children to understand in poetry as such. For example, I wrote the first song about sickle cell anemia that Brooke Benton, a great African-American singer, recorded, called A Black Child Who Can't Smile. And it was the first song written about a disease, about sickle cell anemia. It says, have you ever seen a black child who can't give you a smile because the pains in his joints are so great? The answer is easily found when you find his blood count down because the cells that have sickled easily break. Now the child didn't ask for this when life gave him a kiss, that he would have to suffer such pain and woe. So come on and join the band, give this little black child a hand and let his blood flow so he can grow and grow. So I use poetry for medicine's sake. I use poetry to stimulate young people when I go out to their schools and things like this, and try to get them interested in writing their own poetry. Do you know any poetry, or have you ever written any poetry yourself?
No, not me. I like to listen to poetry though. And
Well, sure, because at the African Poetry Theater, we have a lot of, right here in Jamaica, Queens, we have a lot of poetry going on all the time. And I'm sure on this program, black poets have appeared, you know. Poetry is such an essence because it's taking very few words and making some meaning out of life, you know. And so these are the kind of things that you're really good that you're reading, like Langston Hughes and all the wonderful poets that we have, County Cullen. So read our black poets and Gwendolyn Brooks and all these wonderful poets. Pick up some of the books in the library and read a poem a day and see how it starts changing your whole attitude about life.